The use of fallacies in a persuasive speech can be detrimental to students, teachers, and anyone giving a speech in many ways. The use of these can damage your credibility as a whole and make people doubt what you're trying to say or explain. Hi, my name is Charlotte Braddock, and today I'm going to educate you on the faulty analogy fallacy and the hasty generalization fallacy. The Department of Philosophy at Texas State University informs us that a faulty analogy consists of assuming that because two things are similar in some aspect, that they are dissimilar in another aspect. This basically means that it's a fallacy in which their argument is based on misguiding comparisons meant to fool you into believing them. Here's a few examples of a faulty analogy. That group of teenagers is up to no good. They're out after dark. They're wearing dark clothes and baggy pants. This is a stereotype because the group could just be a normal group of kids walking around. You never know. You can't just assume that they're bad kids. So here's my visual aid. And this is basically, the top one says most of the green is touching the red, which is true. The second one says most of the red is touching the blue, which is true. And it says since most of the green is touching the red and the red is touching the blue, most of the green must be touching the blue. And that is false because they are on opposite sides, so that's a faulty analogy. So another example of a faulty analogy is this right here, and this says the new animal is like a sheep. It has 4 legs, sheep-sized, fleecy, therefore it's a suitable addition to the flock. This is false because it is just a wolf dressed up as a sheep, and letting the wolf into the pack would not be good for the other sheeps. So, a hasty generalization defined by the logically fallacious Academy edition informs us that drawing a conclusion based on a small sample size rather than looking at statistics that are much more in line with the typical or average situation. So that's what a hasty generalization is. It basically means assuming something out of nothing. One example of a hasty generalization is that my father smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day since he was 14 and he lived until age 69. Therefore, smoking can't be really bad for you, and this makes absolutely no sense because he only lived till age 69. How do you know nothing was bad with his health? And that does not mean it's going to be the same thing for everybody. So here's a hasty generalization, and this lady right here is saying, did you hear about the teenagers who vandalized the park downtown? And this one says no, and then it says, I did. Teenagers are so irresponsible and destructive. And you can't just assume that about all teenagers, that they're going to be destructive, because that's not fair. So I hope you understand what a hasty generalization is and what a faulty analogy is. Thank you so much for listening.